I get this comment. I've had this comment a lot over time. I'm sure you have as well. People are like, oh, what if there's just a little wine bar where you just get some cheese after dinner or some little antipasto plate or something like that. It's like, okay, there's just no money in that.
The 50 people a week is not going to keep you open.
It's not going to do it. And you're dealing with perishable products.
Mm-hmm.
Cheese goes off real quick.
And it's fucking expensive.
It's very expensive. So you're going to end up putting down 30 grams of cheese for someone. They're going to be like, where's the rest of it? Hello, TK.
Yeah.
We'll start that again because
You comfortable, Corey?
Corey's just sitting back with a glass of wine. We'll start that
a
again.
cup of tea, buttered bun, fucking T-bone steak. Make yourself at home.
Hello, TK.
Hello, Pete. How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Not as comfortable as me old mate over here.
Yeah, when the producer's sitting back with a glass of wine in the middle of a couch, he's actually having probably not a bad day.
King of fucking England.
He's done all the hard work. He can relax.
He has. He's been here since early afternoon.
We're not going to do a review as such, I think, on the thing that's in your glass and is in my glass as well.
Just going to tell everybody how yummy it is. Pretty much every year it comes out.
Yeah, look, it's one of those wines where it's starting to develop a real sort of little cult following, I think, and it's from our friends at Shaw Smith in the Adelaide Hills. This is their Lenswood Vineyard, so a little single site wine from 2021. And what I love about Shaw Smith, so I think Shaw Smith's something that a brand that a lot of people in Australia know. It was kind of almost a category creator for premium Sauvignon Blanc. So, when the Savalanche happened in the early 2000s from New Zealand,
we used to sell swimming pool fulls of it on Hayman Island.
It's one of those things where it was a thing and it happened and we all know and we don't really talk about it too much. But one of the things for me is that what Shaw Smith did was kind of went, yeah, that's fine, but this is us.
Yeah.
And so they sort of stayed away from that kind of really tropical style and went for a little bit slightly sort of different style. A little bit drier, and from a Sauv Blanc point of view, and everyone kind of got to know this wine. And
it's a massive crowd pleaser, but right, Sauvignon Blanc, Shaw Smith Sauvignon Blanc.
It's what you're going to get.
Yeah,
there's a consistency there to it, year in year out, and the sort of the joke with Shaw Smith at launch every year is basically this is the best wine we've ever made again, and it is. I mean, the thing that they don't just sit on their laurels or rest on their laurels. How
many bills do you reckon Shaw Smith Sauvignon Blanc has paid in the restaurant game in
Australia? A lot. A hell of a lot. And I think it's one of those wines that does very well across on-prem and off-prem, so retail and restaurants. So, you could go into a retailer and probably buy, oh gosh, I don't know when the last time I bought Shaw Smith Sauv Blanc was, but probably maybe $35-ish.
Yep.
And then you can sit in a restaurant and people are going to pay for it as well. So there's not a lot of brands where you can do that. No. So just as a brand and as a business, they've done extremely well. And they've got the pedigree of the team members that they have is quite phenomenal.
Yeah. So what brands, to tell everybody the brands that they have, because they've got some.
So apart from Shaw Smith, they also have the Other Wine Co, which is kind of their experimental sort of edge of the business, playing with other varieties that aren't necessarily classic. So they've had an Arinto before. There's some things in the pipeline. I think there's a Gamay in the pipeline for them as well, which is going to be great. And they've also bought the Tolpuddle Vineyard in Tasmania, and that's now got an amazing cellar door run by Pip Anderson. So
they pick the grapes there and make the wine
move them back, in
South Australia, right?
Correct, yeah. Adam Waterwitz.
That's really unusual, right?
It does happen a bit, particularly for the bigger companies that don't necessarily have winemaking facilities in Tasmania.
Right.
They just basically want to get it back to home base.
Gotcha.
So it's sort of, I think it's like 36 hours or something like that from on the vine to back into the Adelaide Hills. And I know that speaking to Adam Waterwitz, the chief winemaker and co-CEO, that they like what happens in that little journey, that little sort of slow vibration, sort of has some science stuff happening in the grapes.
You can't argue the point with Tolpuddle, but
no, exactly. When the wines are fantastic, and they've got MAD, MMAD, which is in McLaren Vale. So those sort of four brands give them a really diverse sort of batch of wines that they get to make. That's an incredible team all the way through as well. It's not just like the two co-CEOs.
Great value, right? Like all the way.
Absolutely. And they're not cheap wines, don't get me wrong, but they're generally very, very well made wines. They they just know what they're doing. So this is their Lenwood Chardonnay. It's bloody delicious. We're just having a glass of it, and yeah, it's yum.
It's very nice. And one of the things that I'll say that, apart from shut up to the dog, just filming a podcast in my house, is whenever we've had a big function, like if we're doing an out cater for maybe 100 or 150 people, and you need to really, when you're looking at what booze you're going to serve and also the food, you really want to make sure that you appeal to the masses.
Crowd pleasing wines, yeah.
Because putting beef tartare on, or foie gras, or an unbelievably sweet Alsatian Riesling,
polarizing things,
you've got to avoid, right? But one of the things that I think that Shaw Smith have done really well for many, many years now is the fact that it doesn't matter whether or not you're having a polished dinner and you really want to stand out Chardonnay. You can go top end like what we're drinking now, or a Taupuddle, or that they do things like Shaw Smith Sauvignon Blanc, which literally pleases the masses.
Absolutely.
And the representation of great value for money is so strong with it.
Yep.
It's, that's the thing that I always gravitate to. And I say to all my mates who are mad Chardonnay and Pinot drinkers, some of them are masquerading as Pinot drinkers but are really Shiraz drinkers. This always comes up when we're talking wine and about being great value. Yeah, because you'd be hard pressed to find a better wine for the price. I think.
Yeah, I think so. And they're not just technically well made wines; they're interesting wines as well. And that's the thing. There's multiple things you can talk about with them. So, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about opening hours.
Yep.
Now, this is, I suppose, something that anyone who works in the business, it's always a question. When are we going to open? What days are we going to open? How long are we going to open for? When do we shut?
And you always start with an idea of what you're going to do.
Yep.
But the market will very quickly tell you where it's at, right?
Absolutely.
Because there's some talk in Brizzy about trying to extend trading hours, and I think it's got a lot to do with the Olympics coming up.
Yeah, I think
they want to try and create some nightlife for a lot of internationals that are going to come in.
And I think, it's what's really interesting is that there's this conversations happening right now about the Olympics, and there's a part of me, it's like, it's 6 years away, 7 years away.
Yeah.
Like, we've got a long way to go. There's spots where if someone's opening now for the Olympics, there'll be 3 other operators in there before the Olympics actually get around. If you don't 90%
get it right, of people go broke in the first year of operation.
Right. So it's like, don't be hanging your hat on the Olympics. You've just got to have a good business and hope that you're around when it actually happens. I think that's a big part. That's a thing from my perspective anyway. But the idea of opening hours, and I suppose it often gets mentioned around things like when the Lions are here, when the Ashes is coming up, and people are like, well, these internationals are coming and they want to go out, and they got nowhere to go. It's like, well, you kind of, there's still some places to go if you know where to go, particularly in Brisbane. There is some late night venues. There's some places that you can go to. They're generally in the city or the valley.
Yep.
We were talking earlier about restaurants that we used to go to after service and things like that. So I mean, funny Korean in the city, we went up there till all hours of the morning drinking, Orion Korean beer or whatever the hell it was. And, just having an absolute ball,
soup,
and it's just fun. But
the old King of Kings.
Yeah. But I think the other thing is hanging your hat on just internationals coming here to eat late is not going to work.
No.
And I think that, honestly, it's going to take, this is, again, my opinion, a few restaurants that are a little bit daring that wanted, and this is specifically restaurants, food venues, rather than bars, nightclubs, places where people just want to go and drink. There's going to have to be a few people that are going to have to create this little, I suppose, community of late night diners, because they are out there. In Brisbane, where there is some population, where there's people who are working shifts, where there's people that might be, you've got the kids until 5 o'clock, and it's like, all right, what are we going to do? Let's, get everything sorted. We can leave at 8, 9 o'clock, be somewhere at 9:30, 10, have dinner, be home by 1 o'clock. That sounds like a nightmare to me.
And then get up in the morning.
Holy shit! I'm just saying that's
Did
something.
You get halfway through that going, I was starting to sweat.
Maybe I've made an error here. But what is interesting is that
that's called being on the wrong side of 40.
Correct. I was going to say. Recently, where I was somewhere recently, and it's like, my booking was at 5 o'clock, and it's like, it's afternoon tea. What are we doing? It was Player. I went there a couple of weeks ago. It was 4:45.
I seen the booking in there, and I was
just
about
like,
to blow you up.
What do we do? That wasn't me either. It was a guy I play golf with, and he's like, "Mate, let's go." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." So Jen and I, he was meant to be his wife. She had to go away, so it was just the three of us, and we're sitting there. And I was like, "It is fucking sunlight. It is not even close to dinner."
How did we get here?
It's just like exactly. It's like the blue rinse set comes in. No, but they weren't. The place was heaving anyway, so it wasn't an issue. But
Melissa and I used to finish work at, I don't know, 11:30, 12 o'clock, come home, have a shower, make a cheese board, grab a glass of wine, sit down and put a movie on at 1.
Yeah.
But this is obviously life before children.
Yeah.
And then in particular, if it was the end of our week,
Yeah.
it was like, absolutely, that's what we're going to do. We'd roll into bed at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, sleep until lunchtime.
Yeah.
That is hospitality 101.
But the other thing is, I can't sleep past 5 o'clock.
Me
I just
neither.
cannot. I've already been up 3 times during the night. But then it's like, and for any man over 40, you know what I'm talking about. But it's so ridiculous that it's like we're pushing late night and everything in me is like, I want an afternoon sitting, please.
I start to get nervous around 8 o'clock because it's like,
I'm checking
shit.
Honestly, This is no word of a lie. This week, sitting there, looked at the watch and going, God, what time is it? Hoping to go to bed. It was 7:15. It's not even funny. It's just like, this is where I'm at. But again, I'm getting up. I wake up at 4:30 every morning.
Yeah,
so it's just, that's just what I have to do to get to work and everything else. But by 7:30, I'm absolutely shattered. And it's like, it's that thing, like, get home and you're sitting there. It's like, what's for dinner? It's like, fuck, the horrible question. That is, I swear to God, and I'll look at this, the worst question ever. What do you want for dinner, or what are we having for dinner? What should we do for dinner? I don't want to answer that.
The memes on TikTok regarding the dinner and the guys who imitate their wives put the tea towel over their head. Have you seen those?
Oh yeah.
I laugh, and I reckon that Melissa and I argue over that because when I listen to that, she thinks that I'm talking about her, which is exactly what I'm doing.
Yes,
and it rages her beyond belief because it's like, what do you feel like for dinner? And it's like, what about this? I don't feel like that.
But
you choose.
No,
and then you say, what about this? No. I feel like that. It's like,
the thing is, it's like everyone's busted. So it's like no one wants to do it. But you've got to eat. So it's like, this is stupid. Honestly, and I believe this wholeheartedly, if there was a pill to have dinner, Jen would take that. Jen would have that 100%. The Jetsons, she would have that every single day. Me, on the other hand, I don't mind the process a little bit. Certainly the cooking part. And that's the thing as well. Like, I don't know what you're like, but when you cook, like when I cook, I don't want to eat. Like at the end of it, I've cooked something, I'm like, I don't want to eat that.
Yeah.
And it could be delicious, but it's like, I cooked it. I know what it tastes like.
The only thing that rages me is at the moment our household dynamic has changed a little bit where Mel's doing the grocery shop. My rage is because I'm the primary cook in the family, cookerer, and when it's my job but there's no food in the fridge. Because I say I'm happy to cook, but if I'm rolling in hot at 5 o'clock, you just make sure that there's food in there. I don't care what it is.
Do you give an ingredients list? Are you part of the problem here, or
potentially?
I mean, you have to admit it on air.
Potentially I am, but I'm one of these people that it's like I'll decide what we're going to have for dinner when I open the fridge.
So you open the fridge and it's like that. What was that fucking show?
Andy Cooks.
No, not Andy. No, not Andy. Not Andy. We love Andy. No, more. It was, what was it?
Good Chef, Bad Chef.
No. Ages ago. This is like, it was a big Greek guy in Melbourne. Used to go to people's. What the hell was that? Surprise Chef, I think it was called. And he'd just turn up, see him in a supermarket and go, what's in your fridge? And they'd be like, nothing. He's like, all right, let's go home and make something. And he'd walk into their house and make this like ridiculous dinner based on what they had.
And some of the
Aristos? Is that his name?
You've lost me. I don't know.
Someone who knows this, look it up. I think it's called Surprise Chef.
Some of the times that this happens, it sends me into rage. But if I'm in a good mood, 9 times out of 10, I'll end up with something better to eat. Like, we didn't have any protein in here at all.
Oh, yeah. So you've got to be creative.
So, and I hadn't had it for so long. And I had good penne pasta, garlic, chili, parsley, extra virgin olive oil.
Olio.
It was so fucking good.
That's all you need.
Just a little zip of lemon zest.
Yeah.
It was we finished eating it and we looked at each other going, why are we not having this once a week?
Why don't we do that?
It's
so funny. We do the same thing. But I think this is the thing. It's like this is at home. So we're talking about, and like we're eating at 5 o'clock at home.
Yeah.
Or starting to prepare maybe at 5 o'clock. But certainly when we go out, we're definitely going out earlier.
Yeah.
But I wonder, again, we're not the market necessarily. And, again, there's plenty of people if they're out for a celebration or whatever. And I don't think it needs to be every night of the week.
No.
I think there's places you will always find somewhere open. It's whether or not you want to go there or not is a different conversation.
Are people in the valley looking for a feed at midnight, Bart? Do you think?
Most of them probably not. They're probably looking for a chuppa chup and a bottle of water. That's the truth. I mean, maybe a glow stick or a whistle. I don't know, but again, that's only part of the market. That part of the market, no. But there's other people, I don't know, maybe. I mean, again, we've got a lot of people, we're seeing the market. There is that little shift towards less drinking. That maybe means people can stay out a little bit longer without any kind of extracurricular help. So it's like, maybe there is something there. But I believe it's going to have to take, I don't know how many restaurants need to get together and go, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to start pushing. I mean, we do it at Central on Saturday nights. There's a late shift, it's called, and basically it sort of starts around 10 o'clock.
Oh, right.
And there's bookings all the way through to midnight. But depending on the day, people are there till sort of 1.
It's got to be the softest part of your week, but
right? Definitely. It's just. But the thing is, what is interesting is it's kind of, you sort of see the same people coming back every few weeks, so which is nice.
But you're right in the middle of the city too.
100%.
Right? So
right.
you might get people coming after the theatre, after a movie,
or they've gone for an early dinner, they've gone out for a drink, and they're like, you know what, could have something to eat again.
Especially with the calibre of food you're serving, a little tipple of something,
and that's the thing.
With a nice glass of wine,
couple of dumplings,
nice glass of sherry,
exactly. Something simple. So I think there's potential there. I know that a lot of people have talked about it for a really long time. I mean, back in the day when at Restaurant 2, people, I think we've talked about this before, and people would call and say, where do we eat out on Brisbane on a Monday night? And I'd say Sydney, because there wasn't a lot of options there, but that's just not the case.
Yeah.
There's definitely places that are open later. There's way more variety of venues to choose from as well. But I mean, what are the things that hold you back from opening late up here?
Well, for me, it's purely knowing your market. And for us, and this sounds unbelievably arrogant, but we don't open for fun unless we think we can make a quid out of it. We just won't do it. Even if it's a break even, I'm not interested in doing that. We wear a bit of a golden rule that nothing really good happens after 9 o'clock, especially in our
on the
fast
Sunshine
casual.
Coast.
Yeah. And our fast casual restaurants are a testament to that. We close at 9 o'clock every single night of the year. Like, it's
the kitchen closes at 9, right? People can stay a little bit later.
if they've got a meal, great. But you can't come in for dinner after 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And 99.9% of the time, the restaurant's completely empty and locked up by 10 o'clock.
Do you know if are there many inquiries for outside of that?
Very, very limited.
Yeah.
Like when we first opened, in particular, Rice Boy, which is our first venue we opened in 2017, we thought, well, let's test the market. Then once we opened Rice Boy upstairs, which was a dive bar. We thought we'll keep that open.
But same food, right?
Yeah, it's exactly the same food. But after 10 o'clock, we thought we'd minimise the menu, have great cocktails.
Yep.
There just wasn't the market for it, even
Yep.
on the weekend. Because we found that the nightclubs, the guys that are doing a really good trade in the nightclub market, that's their wheelhouse. They don't do food.
Yeah.
So we found as though we just sat in no man's land there.
Yeah.
Market Bistro, Boca, and probably play a bit different. People will linger. People will make a reservation at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
But the fast casual market, we shut it up at 9 o'clock.
There'd be, I mean, gosh, I'm just trying to think.
The Sunshine Coast is a bit different.
I was going to say,
mate. I hope it works in Brisbane. I really do, for Brisbane's sake.
Absolutely.
I know that I'll never go out for dinner at 9:30, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I have been out before when I've been overseas.
Yeah. Okay.
After an event.
So there we go. This is the thing. It's like we're always happy to do it. Like Sydney, Melbourne. Like, I mean, I had dinner in Sydney a couple of weeks ago. I think our booking was at 8:30. I think we left there at 11:30 or something like that. You know, so there's lots of places where it's a lot easier to do that. I mean, Chinatown in Melbourne is the best for that. You know, you can go to a really, really good restaurant at 11 p.m. and have dinner. Supper club, you know, you could go there at 2 o'clock in the morning and get a great.
But it's all about population, right? Because these people, the people that do trade that late, they just need to be able to sustain that labour.
Yeah.
And as soon as, I don't want to be banging on it again, but as soon as you increase the minimum wage up, you make options of dining out later nearly impossible, because you need to do more and more people just to break even. And
under Higa, we've got 10 o'clock you're going overtime straight after 10 p.m. So that has an impact.
Yeah.
So then you're looking at, was it 1.5 or 1.75, whatever it is. Again, I'm not going to get into this. I got so much shit for getting that number wrong last time. So, but there's
so you just got to, the market will tell you if there is
if there's any viability in it. And it's again, I think it's a question of math at the end of the day. It's like, can you get enough people in here to spend X to generate enough revenue to keep the place open and make money?
And the cities that I have dined late in, like the big ones, London, Paris, New York.
Yeah.
You're talking about the population of a city that is greater than
there's
the
20 million
population
people
of Australia.
in New York City, so it's like,
so you can't really compare it. And I know that when when you say you don't dine out late, but then you say, when I was overseas and I went to this trade show, but you go to a trade show until 9:30 at night, and then suddenly you haven't even been out for dinner, but everybody's going out at that time, and you're like, you make a reservation at 5:30 in New York City, people look at it like you're on drugs or you've made a mistake or you're not speaking English.
Yeah.
Like I remember having dinner at Alain Ducasse at the Plaza Athénée in Paris. And when I made the booking at 6 o'clock, that was my wedding present to ourselves. And then Melissa got food poisoning. That's a really good story.
We have talked about that. Yeah.
But when I made the booking there, people were like, what time? I sat in the restaurant by myself for 45 minutes.
Did you?
Yes, it was fantastic. But the market, I can tell you, irrefutably on the Sunshine Coast, the market is not there for that. And I wish it was.
And that's the thing. I was like, if there was, what do you think it would be for, like food wise? Would it be for fast casual, or would it be for serious? Or
no, I don't think people are.
Is it just kebabs and burgers,
or cheese, antipasto, something like that? If you could go out and get a drink, but again, you're talking to such a small market,
and it's also like, it's like people, and I get this comment. I've had this comment a lot over time. I'm sure you have as well. People are like, oh, what if there's just a little wine bar where you just get some cheese after dinner, or some little antipasto plate or something like that. It's like, okay, there's just no money in that.
The 50 people a week is not going to keep you awake.
Do it. And you're dealing with perishable products. Cheese goes off real quick.
And it's fucking expensive.
It's very expensive. So you're going to end up putting down 30 grams of cheese for someone. They're going to be like, where's the rest of it? It's tough to do that kind of stuff. And unless, again, you've got volume, you've got people, or you're attached to something else, you've got something feeding into you, then maybe. But it is slightly frustrating though when you go to Sydney, Melbourne, and other cities around the world where you can get that quality dining a little bit later. And it's interesting you use that example of like the trade show, because in Australia there's no trade shows going to go past 5 o'clock to start with, so there's just absolutely no way. So then everyone wants the 7 o'clock dining, and there is that window, and it's definitely a Brisbane thing, I think, and I've been saying this before, and I think you've mentioned this before as well. If you can't get a booking at 7 or 7:30 in Brisbane, people will go somewhere else. Yeah. It's mental. I don't understand that. It's like, what about 6:45? No, it has to be 7:30. All right. What about 7:45 or 8 o'clock? Nah, can't do that.
We block off half of our allocation of booking times for 7 and 7:30 just to force people outside of it. But then we open it up Thursday.
And I think the other thing is most restaurants these days are looking for double sittings. So that's the way to make money. If you can have the table turned at least twice, then you've got more potential to make revenue. So,
but Pete, one of the biggest things I think that we both have to sit back and go, what is the key? Because I think that you'll be a testament to this. We get asked a lot. It seems like people are looking for what's the golden key that's going to unlock
the silver ball. It's going to fix everything. Yeah,
you've got to listen to the fucking punters.
Yeah,
because everywhere where everybody's restaurant is, our friends that are in Lapland listening to us is different to our friends in Melbourne who've got a restaurant, and the people in Perth are different to the people in New Zealand.
Absolutely,
and I think that the number one thing that you can, my advice to anybody in the game is just to listen to your customers, because they will irrefutably, unashamedly tell you what they want.
How do people? What's your recommendation for people? How do they go about that? Like, is it physically going to tables, going, "Hey, we're doing this"? Is it little survey monkeys out through their email system or their reservation system or something like that?
Just punch it out on social media. And if you're not on social media, well, fucking stupid you. And to be honest with you, if you're not out there promoting yourself on social media, then it's free for a start, and it doesn't take much energy.
Content's not. Producing the content's not free.
No, but you can.
But you can do it cheap.
I can do it with that.
Correct.
So
better if you use a professional, like.
Fucking, he's the most expensive guy on the wall.
CSP. He's cheap.
But
not easy.
What I keep saying is that if you put a post out there, the people who come to your venue will unashamedly tell you what they want.
Yeah.
or just go out and see if there's anybody out there. Then you're going to have to make the decision:
Yeah.
is nobody going out because there's no market here, or because
Or is
there's
it
nobody
us?
open?
Yeah.
You know, that's the one thing. I'd love to open a restaurant in Budrum. Would you believe? Like, I love Budrum
Really?
because the amount of champagne that gets sold in the Budrum,
Stupid.
the biggest market in Australia for the postcode.
It
right?
definitely used to be. I'm not sure if it still is, but I think
It'd
it
be-
probably is. It's
It'd
probably
be
more.
interesting to find that
There's
out.
a couple of
But-
people that we know are probably putting a serious dent in that as well. So
But I go, am I wrong thinking that it's a great place for a restaurant? Because
they drink champagne.
no, more so because there's nothing up there, and we have so many of our customers that live in Budrum.
There's a couple of decent restaurants up.
But then you go, is it because there's not much up there, or is it because there's no market there?
Everyone's asleep.
I don't
Not
know.
exactly a bustling metropolis. There's no doubt about
Have
that.
a look at the Maroochydore CBD at 9
Yeah.
o'clock at night.
Same thing.
But between Market Bistro and Giddy Geisha will feed a few hundred people tonight.
It is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's a couple of once you put it out there to your market, you're going to have to sit back and have analyze the noise. I think that's Melissa coming home. So
How
get
long
noisy in here in a sec.
would you like if you're gonna let's say you're operating 5 days a week and you're okay, everything's going okay, and you're thinking,
Yep.
fuck, why don't we add in one more?
Yeah.
Or another day or another service.
Yep.
Do you just go ahead and do that and hope for the best, or do you check all this first? Everyone says, yeah, that'd be great. We'll come. And you open that extra day. Let's say you're doing Tuesday to Saturday. You know what? Let's do Monday nights, or let's do another lunch service or something like that. How do you, if you're going to do it and you're going to test it, you know, how long do you run it for before you make the call to chop it or not?
You've got to give it a go. But I always think that it's always easier to peel it back rather than add to it. So
okay.
And I'm only talking about from our perspective. We always go. We trade 7 days a week, every single day of the year, apart from Christmas Day. Now, I'm not saying that's the best way to go for everybody.
That's
but
very different for everyone as to where you are and everything else.
That's what we do. But I reckon it's probably easier from peeling it back from there and going, well, we'll shut on a Sunday, or we'll shut on a Monday. What?
And I suppose there's obvious days because Sunday is very expensive to open because of penalty rates.
Yep.
You know, when you've got staff on 60, 70, $80 an hour, that makes it tougher to make a living. And then you've got those midweek lunches as well. It's like, well,
one of the things that worked really well for us because of this, is because Sunday. Now we know that a lot of people know that there's not many places to choose from. So Sunday is it. And Sunday lunch for us, we're always doing sort of 40 or 50 people.
Yeah.
And
at market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should probably, do you want to just pause for a sec? Or can you cut that noise out?
I can't even hear it.
Oh, can't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
There's a fair bit.
You can only hear it through the outside. It's not coming through.
Oh, it's not coming through the mics.
okay.
Great. Okay. Yeah, I think this the Sunday one's always a tough one.
Yeah.
Because I think it's the easiest one to chop, but
it's expensive to open on Sunday.
it is.
Yeah.
But it's also the potential where you can do okay on Sundays because no one else is open.
Public
or
holidays
less
has
people
been
are
the same
open.
for us.
Public holidays are a tough one. Do you do surcharge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do Sunday surcharge.
Do you? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But now, one of the things that I've always wanted to try and do is take that guess out. So I don't want people going, are they open? I want them to go, oh, they're always open.
They're always open, so
That's the
we
method.
know they're open, so we just go.
And we've that's been a deliberate thing for us.
That's
but
really interesting.
We had to eat a lot of shit butt for a few months because it's a fantastic question what you asked. How long do you give it?
Yeah.
You need to give it some time.
Yeah.
It's like
Which can be expensive as well.
it is, but the playbook is right. If you've got a failing restaurant who, you know, they're not doing the numbers that you need to do. One of the very first plays in chapter 1 is let's do Sunday jazz. So they'll go and buy. They'll go. We'll give a young and up and coming jazz singer a stage, so we won't even have to pay him.
Yeah.
So you won't get anybody decent for that, right? In my opinion. But then you get them up there. They'll do 2 or 3 weeks. They'll put a post up on Facebook. They won't boost the post. They won't, and it won't work. And then they'll just chop it.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, have a proper swing at it. And it's easy to say because when you're struggling and you've got no money, it's really hard to run that risk.
Yeah.
But nothing happens overnight. You need to create that run up for it.
I think it's also, if you're sitting there and you're going to do something like that, give yourself runway the other way as well.
Yeah.
So lead into it with social posts. You know, do a 6-week program of, right, we're going to
Totally.
do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do a couple of giveaways for a couple of tables for some local people that we know or whatever it may be, get some people in, incentivize whoever it is that's the musician, get them to, if they bring 20 people in, they get X, Y, Z. Like there's other things that you can do that'll actually
Mate.
do that before.
Shout
So
out from the rooftops.
So you don't just open on Sunday and go, oh, there's no one here.
Mate, I've got, and it's funny, and I'm not going to mention names, but I've got a family member of mine who's involved in not financially involved, but just helping a mate out opening a restaurant. Actually, right now, tonight is their opening night. Now, he randomly just asked me, "Oh, what are you doing tonight? Do you want to come along?" I said, "No, I'm filming a podcast tonight." I said, "What's the restaurant called?" And he told me the name of the restaurant, and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And I jumped on social media. Yeah, no Facebook page. The spelling was a bit off. The Instagram handle was a bit unusual. So all these things working against them. When I said, "Oh, they don't have any social media." Oh, yeah, there is. There's 6 posts on Instagram. There's no menu. There's no trading hours.
No website
And
link.
it's like,
or,
oh, for fuck's sake. Like,
You gotta give yourself a
and
chance.
you're going to blame everybody else when your restaurant fails.
Yeah.
Because that shit, Pete, is free
Yeah.
to put that up.
Yeah.
And you can do it with a phone.
And you can do it 100 times a day.
we it's good that we've got to the stage with our business, where we can have people like Corey that films everything professionally. But for the first 12 months, and Corey will attest to this, I did it with a fucking phone.
I was there. I was at the other end of that.
This is
kept
what I
on.
mean.
That's
Like,
the thing.
it's-
So
You don't need that. You need to be able to tell your community of punters that are coming in every day
yeah,
exactly what you're up to.
yeah.
Tell us what the specials are. Tell us what the menu is. Tell me what you're excited about
Yeah.
tonight.
Tell us we're
That's
opening
fucking
late.
free. I can post 50 times a day. It's free.
Yeah.
So just,
I think
fuck.
that's a big part of it as well. It's that communication. If you're going to do something late, early, whatever, adding extra hours, tell everyone.
I think
as
the
much
lead
as
in
you
what you
possibly
just said
can.
then is so
Huge.
true.
But we don't. Often we're very reactive as an industry and individual businesses. It's just like, oh shit, this isn't working. Fuck, try that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you need to try that. It didn't work. Try that. Try that. Try that. Try that. And you just dilute everything.
Everything.
And it's like, just try one thing for 3 months.
Give it a go.
8 weeks, whatever. Just try one
Do
thing
it
and
properly.
go hard at it.
Properly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
I
talk about
totally
leaning in, it's just
Yep.
like, just give it a chance to fail.
Yeah.
I had that conversation with a team member recently. It's like we had someone new come on and someone was like, oh, I'm not sure. And I was like, give them a chance.
Yeah.
Give them a chance. And it turns out they did fail, and that's okay, and they moved on, and that's fine. But we didn't. You can't baby everyone and give them the answers all the time. It's like you've got to give people the opportunity to fail or thrive.
It's like people not putting French champagne on by the glass because they're worried that it will go flat, and it's $25 a glass. You could put, depending on the Sunshine Coast, you're sort of strong-armed into selling it between $20 and $30. You won't get much more than $30, no matter what sort of champagne it is.
Yeah.
But people go, oh, nobody will buy it.
Yeah.
So they'll put it on maybe for 2 nights, sell 1 glass, and go, that was a fucking fail.
And
Drink
they'll
it
waste 2
themselves.
bottles. But
You know.
also, it's like that's where you go back to your suppliers and go, hey, we're going to try this. Give me a Coravin unit
Yep.
that is a sparkling unit that protects the wine and keeps the bubbles in it. Okay, how much are we going to lose? None.
But I used to say to my staff, if you're going to do something and you want to trial it on the nights when you know you're going to be the busiest and give it the best opportunity to succeed.
Yeah.
But then don't just do it for a night or 2.
Yeah.
Tell me how, because you're not going to waste a half a dozen bottles over a week.
No.
Put it on for a week, put it on for 2 weeks, put it on for 3 weeks, but give it a go and make sure you've got your service staff out there selling it. Do they know where the wine's from? Do they know this? Like, give it some history, some meat and veg.
Yeah.
Because that's what punters want.
Give it a story.
Yeah.
Well, and also don't do what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Maybe just an idea. If everyone's pouring Verve, don't do Verve.
But because people of them just go for the cheapest one because that's $1 cheaper.
Yeah. So then you end up fighting
And
that game, which is a race to the bottom.
And mate, I've really started, speaking about champagne, I've really started getting into some of these little grower champagnes. And there's some bloody interesting wine out there that's relatively cheap for what you're getting.
Yep.
And so long as you've got some knowledge about how you're going to sell that.
Yep.
Because if you're chasing a glass of champagne and you go, do you have any champagne with a glass? And they go, actually, I do.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of a story there. I'm a buyer. I'll probably even pay overs for that.
And there is plenty of value still if you look around. Like you need to find it. If you stay away from the big boys, not saying you need to stay away from the big boys. There's a time and place for them.
Yep.
But there is definitely great champagne. Or if you know what, don't make it. Just use something. Use sparkling. Use great. There's amazing, great Aussie sparkling. You know,
God,
Kiwi sparkling. There's great
Tassie sparkling.
There's heaps of stuff out there. It's
But
phenomenal.
mate, you could say that same wash all through your menu as well, because I look at the laziness with chefs in and around seafood.
In what way?
Do you get sick of seeing barra salmon and snapper on a menu? Like
Yeah,
it feels like it's the go-to on the Sunshine Coast.
I think my snapper up here is ridiculous.
like for
it's
fuck's sake.
that's all there is. So
Just go to your supplier and say, I'm chasing some red emperor. I'm chasing some coral trout. I'm chasing some John Dory.
I saw a post the other day which I absolutely loved. It was like, hey, everyone in Sydney, chefs, just so you know, kingfish can be cooked.
It's
And
so
it's like,
true.
that's so true. When's the last time
Every
you saw
menu has
here,
got
here a master kingfish?
Oh my God.
You know, it's just like, I know, don't get me wrong, I love it, but
Yeah,
it
of
is
course it
quite
is.
funny. It's just like, that's right. I don't think I've seen a cooked kingfish in the last 10 years. It's just raw everywhere.
But it's funny, like it's what you were saying before about how restaurants compete against each other, because then if everybody has it on the menu, it comes back down to the price point. There was a stage where I think every restaurant at the Wharf, apart from Spiro, had bao buns on the menu. Because they thought that the success and the busyness of Rice Board was because of the bao buns. It's like, you're an Italian restaurant, don't sell fucking bao buns.
They were selling bao buns?
I'm not going to get into that, Pete. But if you're a pub and you're selling bao buns,
Bao buns.
like just fucking sell a palmy.
Yeah.
You'll sell 1 million of them,
Yeah.
because people don't want to go to a pub and have a half-assed bao bun. They want a chicken palmy done really, really well.
Yeah.
You'll get $35 for it every day of the week, and they want a cold schooner. Like, lean in.
Here's a question for you. There's a venue in Brisbane, and I walk past every now and then, in between in between a couple of our venues, and they have an A-frame up with Parmo. A Parmo.
Well, what's that? It
I
sounds
feel
very controversial.
It's a Parmy as far as I'm concerned, or a Parma at a stretch.
Yeah, not even a palmer.
It's a
You're fucking dead to me if you call it a palmer. It's a palmy.
Parmo sounds like cheese. Like
Parmo. Well,
Palmo sounds like you're a fuckstick.
What's interesting is I
Give
watched
yourself a fucking uppercut and move on.
I watched this guy on YouTube called Beard Meets Food. Has anyone watched this guy?
No.
Holy shit. And can we tag him because he's hilarious. Beard Meets Food. A British guy. He's a professional eater. Now, I have never been more into something. Man, holy shit. This guy is unbelievable. But recently he's like, I'm going to have a Parmo. It was a Parmo challenge. This thing was like this big.
Oh, yes.
I can't remember. He was in Germany somewhere and he ate this thing. He took it down. It was phenomenal to watch. But everything he does is phenomenal. It's impressive. He's not a big dude. But he was saying Parmo. And I was like, what the hell? And then this place, which happens to be a British pub, has Parmo. And I was like, that's not okay.
No,
I feel physically
Right,
ill every
fucking
time I
letter.
see it. I'll take a crayon in. Just take a Sharpie. Yeah, exactly.
We've introduced our kids to a palmy, like every adult should.
Yeah.
And it's Woombye pub, and fuck, they do a good job down there.
Yeah.
It is like an absolute pinnacle of their menu is their
Really?
palmy. Yeah, it was really, really good.
How do you feel about this is getting off topic, the multiple toppings available, like the
challenging.
Mexican palmy or the
fuck
surf and turf palmy? Not for you. I agree.
Yeah, it's got to be Napoli and cheese.
Basic, yeah.
Ham?
Are you a ham? What about ham?
I'll push the boat out for the ham.
Corey's all for ham. What
I
about
bet you fucking have pineapple on yours too, don't you?
pineapple?
No.
I was about to remove you
aggressive.
from my fucking premises then.
I think the pineapple on pizza.
No, that's me. I see you said it as well, didn't you?
Oh, I don't think it's
You're
too...
not offended by it.
No, I'm not
I will
offended.
choose it.
I am disgusted by it. It makes me feel sick.
No.
Does it?
Yeah, it smells like piss when it's cooked.
What? You need to drink more water.
No, I drink.
Stay off the asparagus.
No more asparagus. Get off the green beans. Avoid the methoxypyrazine. All right, so let's try and wrap this up.
I don't know how. We've spoken about so many things.
It's a little random, but I think the big thing is that the idea of the opening hours. It's like I'm all for it if there's an investment in it.
Yep.
And there is, I suppose, a bit of a concerted effort from. I honestly think, particularly in Brisbane, that there needs to be half a dozen restaurants in the CBD. They're like, you know what? Let's do it, and let's make it a thing.
don't do it for a
And
week.
good luck at trying to do that because that'll be like herding cats, getting restaurateurs to agree to things that might benefit
It'll be a group that
one more
has
than
got
others.
half a dozen
That's
like
the other
yours
potential.
and
It's like, it's like if there's a couple. I mean, as I said, we're doing it in one venue, and it's sort of slowly building, which is great to see. But the other two, I don't think we'd look at that. I don't think.
Yeah.
Again, not my section chef, but
yeah, my 2 cents is if you're going to do it, no matter what it is, it doesn't necessarily just need to be trading hours. But if you're going to do it, commit to it and just give it some time.
Yeah.
And like you said multiple times, do it properly. Like stand behind it and give it a proper nudge.
Yeah.
Because the public will definitely tell you if they want it or not.
Yeah.
You won't be sitting around after 6 months going, oh, I'm still a bit
Not sure.
confused.
Yeah.
You know,
You'll know.
fucking know.
Yeah,
So trust it and trust your punters because they will tell you.
Yeah.
So my wrap up is just fucking, if you're going to do it, commit, do it, give it time and do it properly and drink fucking Shaw Smith because that was delicious.
it was indeed.
That bottle didn't last very long.
No.
So, yep, well done.
All right, guys. Cheers.
Good on you, mate.